Hey friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com. And before you yell at me or think my hair is greasy, it's not. I'm just out of the shower after spending the day poolside. It was awesome. I babysit my grandbaby 30 hours a week, and I don't get much pool time, unfortunately, because his parents they don't want us taking them out to the pool. So I'm trapped indoors those 30 hours a week. And this week it's been a bit of a heat wave, and we've had a stretch of 90-degree days. But today was one of my days off, and it hit 99 degrees, and my backside was poolside. It was awesome. Drinking my non-alcoholic beer. I had quite a day. Anyway, I saw that Mascha dropped her next tarot trump, which is Fortitude in the series. And I do prefer my Fortitude cards to be number 11. But today I have a few cards that are number 8. And they're not necessarily from decks that are my favorite decks or anything like that. I just wanted to have a little variety because there's so many maidens with lions, I just wanted to mix it up. So I found some that are a little different, and I thought I would share those. So let me flip the camera and we'll get started. Now, I'm not showing them in any particular order. I just have them laid out this way randomly. Now, the first card that I'm going to show you is the esoteric, El Gran Tarot Esoterico. Now, it's a gentleman with a club. And I want to put it in context. Unfortunately, I think it's a reference to this one, this Conti Sforza deck, where they were showing brute force. And I'm not showing this because that's not a favorite card, so please don't jump on me about that. But I just showed it to show that this maybe is a reference to that without having to indicate that it's about hitting an animal. It's just about being physically fit, and physically strong. And there is something to be said about being physically strong. I wish I was more physically strong. I'm kind of zapped of energy and strength, and sometimes I see this card and I think, to be full of vitality like that. So that's why I chose this card for one of the cards. Now, the Philly deck done by James Boyle. Now, I know it's hokey, and I was a docent for the Philadelphia Museum of Art, so I know that the Rocky statue at the foot of at the Philadelphia Museum of Art didn't go over well with a lot of the museum people. However, it never really bothered me. And I think this representation doesn't just represent physical strength and vitality, right? But it also shows, if you know the movie, perseverance and seeing what you're made of. And when I pull this card, I always think of it meaning to see what you're made of, right? And I think this representation shows that. Now, one of the attachments that I have to the Fortitude card is an attachment between me and my mother and my daughter and I. And it's a pretty strong attachment. When my mother was dying of cancer, I had become involved right before she had cancer a second time, okay? She had cancer the first time. And I saw that there was a group organizing to do a tarot deck to benefit cancer research. And I guess it's still available through gamecrafters.com. All art, copyright the original artists, all profits to the Terry Fox Foundation. And because my mother was a cancer survivor and I saw that they were doing this, I wanted to participate. So I chose the strength card because I felt that we got to pick the card we wanted. And I chose the strength card, the Fortitude card for my mother, because I wanted to show what she was such a strong woman, and she was she overcame this, and I really wanted it for her, to show her that I was participating in this. And it took kind of forever. It wasn't really well organized, and I'm not criticizing the person. I don't know, I could have done a better job either, but it just kind of took forever. And the time it took for this deck to get published, my mother had cancer again. She was re-diagnosed with cancer after about 20 years. So, and this time it was fatal. There was no getting out of it. But I had started this card representing her being free from cancer. And this was being a cancer cell, if you want to know what that thing is. This thing is a cancer cell. And unfortunately, they made it be number 8 in the deck, but I had no control over that. So this was the cancer cell, and I was showing how my mom was, through, her strength, and, she got released by the cancer, and she was free of cancer. And then in the course of the time that this deck was being published, she got cancer again, and this time it was fatal, and time was of the essence, and the deck had not been published. And I begged the fella, I forget his name, but I begged him. I said, look, my mother is literally dying, like within the next few days. And I, sent this in like 2 or 3 years ago, and I really want her to see this before she dies. And so he was nice enough to allow me to purchase a, what's it called? A review deck, and to show her. So the review deck wasn't the final copy, but the review deck just showed my art. I don't think it showed, that it was numbered like that, but it showed my art. And I was able to show her the deck. And then like 2 days after it arrived, I showed it to her. I mean, it came in the mail. I took, I was living with her. I grabbed it. I was like, here, Ma, look, and so she saw it. And 2 days later, she passed away, but she did die seeing it. And the irony is that she was released from cancer, So in a way, it was like it kind of had kind of like a double meaning. It was like she overcame cancer, and then, the cancer released her. She died from cancer. But at any rate, this card has a lot of meaning for me. This strength card has a lot of meaning for me. And when I had my brain aneurysm, I made the decision to have my surgery. My daughter gifted me. She didn't, I don't know if she knew about this. Yeah, she must have known that I did a card for my mother, the strength card, and she chose the strength card also to give me as a gift. My daughter gave me the Rider-Waite-Smith poster with a really wonderful, meaningful note about how I was the strongest person that she knew in her life. And so it is Rider-Waite-Smith, but it still has a lot of meaning for me. And I might as well show you the one next to it, because the one next to it is the next card I'm going to show you. This is the Dodal, and this was a lithograph print that Kristen Condor did. She carved into the linoleum, and it was printed by hand. I have number 1 of, I don't know how many, but I have number 1. So it's a very favorite. It's a very favorite Fortitude card. And I'll show you, let me get it back to normal. I'll show you the card. This is the same card as what's on the wall. It's just easier to see. The reason I really like the Dodal Fortitude is because I love the language on the card. Whoa, so sorry. I love the words on the card. Now I know it means like for export, for export to another country. But I like the similarity to the word strange, So it's kind of like, for me, meeting your fears, because it's kind of like, I know what it means, but I kind of see it as doing what's strange, or, going into strange territory, right? Étrange. And that's why I kind of like it. Now, I also had a recurring dream for decades that I was in a room or in a house with a lion that was loose. And it used to scare the crap out of me. And I would like be terrified with fear as this lion would walk by. And I'm a Leo. You would think I would, I would kind of be into the lion and all that, but it scared the devil out of me. Now, I haven't had that dream in ages. And I hope I don't will it to myself, because it's really a terrifying dream. It's like the Night Stalker, like a stalker in your home. And like the lion is just like, that's how I always felt. But at any rate, I think of all the TDM's Fortitude cards, I really like the Dodal, because I do like that word. And it makes me feel like facing my fears and being brave and facing my fear. Even though that's not really what it means, But it also, just seeing what you're made of. And the last card that I've chosen is the Erenberg Tarot. And I chose it, and I think I've shown this before to other people, in another video. It's because when I was a girl, my mother made me a Leo medallion. And I kept it all these years. I just kept it. She called me Lynn, so that's the medallion, with my name and my birthday, So when I saw the Erenberg Tarot, and when I was going through the cards and I saw this lion medallion, it's not exactly the same, but it is close enough that it really struck me as like a hello from my mom in a way. So for that reason, this one is a favorite. This one is definitely a favorite. And, I guess the Fortitude card is, you see it the same way all the time, and yeah, there's only so many varieties of a maiden with a lion, and I kind of wanted to show that sentiment of, mental fortitude or physical fortitude or stamina, or seeing what you're made of, or being able to overcome obstacles can be represented in a variety of ways. And some of these cards represent them in that way. So I hope that I did justice to Mascha's Tarot Trumps, Top Tarot Trumps, hashtag Top Tarot Trumps. Please participate and let Mascha know you participated. And have fun with it. Until next time, friends, peace, stay well, be kind, and do no harm.